and it found that their IQ was generally about 10 points below average, and that many had higher than average levels of anxiety and attention deficit problems. Welcome back to BabyBumpVlog, and yes, it feels strange to say welcome back to BabyBumpVlog when today's subject is so horrific and serious that it just feels weird starting the vlog off in such a friendly way when so many women are dealing with this during their pregnancies, have dealt with it, I've dealt with it. I'm sure somebody watching this vlog right now is currently dealing with it. And I'm really sorry that you're dealing with it. The subject we're going to deal with today is excessive stress during pregnancy. And this stress could be anything from physical abuse, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial abuse. It could be abuse resultant from cheating. It could be the toxicity and abusive nature of people questioning your pregnancy even, or your life choices, or trying to power play you in a toxic way and leaving you without any free will. So that is the kind of excessive stress I'm going to be looking at. And I'll be looking at it from not only a scientific point of view, like what the actual data says, and also what it feels like. Apart from all these scientific evidence that shows that your body releases cortisol and all sorts of hormones to deal with stress, and that crosses through to the placenta. Your heart rate also increases, which is so dangerous for women dealing with preeclampsia especially. But just generally for all women, we know that your heart increases by 12% while you're pregnant to carry all the blood through your body, because your blood volume increases by 40 to 50%. It's so dangerous for you to have an increased heart rate, and a lot of women start smoking because of excessive stress. That is not healthy for yourself, nor is it for your fetus. And society has so many judgments on this, but I'm sure the woman that is grabbed by her throat by her partner during pregnancy because she dared question why he was cheating on her, I'm sure that that woman was probably feeling so like out of it and intense that lighting a cigarette just to bring herself back to reality was, in her opinion and her mind, just something that she didn't even think of. She probably just did. Or if she did think about it, she thought, well, I feel like I want to calm myself down, so this is the lesser of two evils. And on that point, I would like to address men that physically abuse women during pregnancy. You're the scum of the earth. You're the scum of the earth. Even if you hate that woman, and even if you're like, well, women could also be beat up like men because we're equal, then I just want to tell you this, that physical abuse towards any person, whether it be male or female, is wrong. But women are not as physically strong as men. So I always look at people with disgust that abuse women physically, and especially with your child growing inside that woman, for you to physically touch her and risk her losing her child, you are sick. Another quite common form of abuse, I think something I've definitely heard of quite a bit in South Africa, is your partner leaving you at home without any food and then going out drinking, cheating, just spending money recklessly, gambling, buying his mistress things, etc., but just leaving you at home with literally no food, even if you're in a trimester where perhaps you stopped working, so you don't have financial resources, or perhaps you're living in a rural area and you don't have access to shops, plus maybe you don't have a car or connectivity to get an Uber or money to pay an Uber to get to the shops to buy food, etc. That is really abusive as well. And on that note, I recently heard of somebody to whom it happened that confronted, and that word is also so misconstrued, because by saying the word confronted, many people feel that, oh, it's her fault because she was so antagonistic that she was aggressive about it, so she deserved what she got. No, when I'm saying confronted, I mean had a discussion with, or put it to their partner that, hi, love, we don't have this or that in the house. May we please go to the shops? And then it just escalated, or rather devolved into such a crazy, like, I don't even know what's the word, like my brain is mush now. Just thinking about this, it's so nonsensical. It just devolved to the level where he told her that, oh, well, if you don't like it, then you can leave. But this person had just left everything behind to be with him. He told her that he would give her a brand new lease on life, and, you know, her family is not even in the same city as she is. She has a child with a different person, and her child's father doesn't even live in the same city as they do, etc., etc. So where do you want that person in her third trimester to go with your unborn baby? And then if she does do that, just because she feels like perhaps it's for the best of the entire situation, then what would happen later on when you, as the partner of the pregnant woman, decide that, you know what, I don't want to be with her anymore. I enjoy going out and drinking and being with girls, so I'll just fight her for custody. So what are you going to say then in court to social workers and the court? That she makes bad choices, that she's not a good mother because she doesn't offer her children a stable environment. So abusive and horrible. Whether the excessive stress is from abuse or other environmental factors such as the pandemic or even your natural predisposition, I think it's really important that we look at what science says about excessive stress during pregnancy, how it affects you and how it affects your unborn baby. We also should be looking at possible solutions for dealing with excessive stress during pregnancy. And unfortunately, in a lot of situations, it's so complex that watching a YouTube video is not going to give you all the answers you need. But I am praying that this YouTube video will set something alight within your life, which enables you to find the help that you need to deal with the stress. Today is just a bizarrely noisy day here at the complex. Not only have they been working on our building for a few days, but it seems like every second neighbor's car has died and they're needing somebody to help jumpstart the car. So I felt it would be best for me not to recite whatever I read regarding the research, but just to read it, because I want it to be factually correct. Scientists spend their time and energy, resources in trying to find answers, and I want to keep it factually correct, because I'm sure that's why most of you clicked on this video. So let's go to parentingscience.com. The negative effects of stress. When you perceive a crisis or think a stressful thought, your brain secretes CRH, or corticotrophin releasing hormone. This master stress hormone triggers the release of glucocorticoid stress hormones such as cortisol. Stimulated by glucocorticoids and other stress hormones like adrenaline, the brain and the body shift into crisis mode. Your breathing and pulse quicken, making more oxygen available to your muscles. Blood sugar level rises. Psychological processes that are non-essential in the short term, like digestion, growth, and repair, are temporarily shut down. You are in emergency mode. Mind alert, muscles ready for action. When the crisis is over, your stress hormones are supposed to slip back to their previous lower baseline levels. But what if your baseline levels are pretty high? Elevated basal cortisol is usually bad news. It's a sign that your body is in perpetual red alert. The body suffers more wear and tear. So for pregnant women and her fetus, high cortisol levels pose special risks. Elevated cortisol is associated with an increased risk of early miscarriage. It can also cause preeclampsia, fetal growth retardation, premature birth, and postnatal developmental delays. Postnatal developmental delays. Given these risks, we might expect healthy pregnancies to be characterized by low baseline cortisol levels. Another risk to your unborn baby and also your pregnancy is preterm birth and a low birth weight. So many times preterm babies are more likely to have developmental challenges and delays, learning disorders, etc. And even later on in life, a lot of the problems can manifest themselves, such as heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. So chronic health problems could only present itself later on in your child's life. A lot of teenagers have been shown to have depression linked by these studies to stress the mother had during her pregnancy. A study led by Prof. Glover looked at the intelligence of more than 100 babies and toddlers whose mothers had suffered increased levels of stress during pregnancy. And it found that their IQ was generally about 10 points below average, and that many had higher than average levels of anxiety and attention deficit problems. Sometimes it's really difficult for pregnant women to get out of these stressful situations. And the reasons are as many as there are people under the sun. And for this reason, I think the most valuable offering I can give to this conversation would be that it's very important not to be isolated. It's very important to find a person you can trust and speak with. or a support system, more than one person. And I think it's important not to be an island, not only for the fact that you'd have somebody to speak with and actually feel better, but that person is definitely going to be a sounding board and can help you think of a way forward, a way out of your situation. Perhaps the person has resources in terms of a job opportunity or any other kind of resource that you might need to get out of your situation. So most importantly, speak with somebody you trust, find that person that you can connect to, and then just looking at other more generic options of reducing stress. It would obviously be to walk. That's a good stress reliever. It also releases feel-good hormones, serotonin, etc. So walking, trying to do mindful breathing, even in the midst of excessive stress. And that is super difficult. I've always found water to be a really relaxing element. So trying to do mindful breathing whilst either in the bath, or if you don't have a bath, under running water, that definitely helps to calm the mind a bit. And try to find one positive thing that you can focus on, because just with the increased levels of hormones during pregnancy anyway, when you have excessive stress in pregnancy, it short circuits your brain. Apart from all the health complications for your body and your baby's body, it short circuits your brain. You're not able to function properly. So I would say focus on one thing, find one thing and focus on it that is positive. Have your support system that helps you to broaden your horizons. And speaking about broadening your horizons, I think it's super important to stay connected via the internet, because when you know how big the world is out there, and you know that you are living a certain season, then it gives you a lot of perspective and a lot of options, and that will definitely help you to stay grounded and level-headed in a lot of situations, which might have an effect on the way that your body reacts to a stressful situation. I hope this was helpful. This is a mishmash of a vlog. Hopefully my next one's gonna be better. But thank you for joining me on BabyBumpVlog. If you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button down below. And I will see you next time. Next time is going to be pregnant in pandemic. I'm finally doing it, guys. Finally getting down to it. Have a lovely day. A 2017 review of studies links prenatal stress with an increased risk of miscarriage. Researchers have found that women who have a really severe negative life event or consistent stress during their pregnancies were twice as likely to have early miscarriages.